Sarah Ferguson has revealed that she was so in awe of Baroness Margaret Thatcher when they met that she kept making a strange sound in her throat. The 63-year-old Duchess of York told her podcast listeners that she was eventually forced to apologise to Britain's first female Prime Minister because her throat kept trembling. The grandmother of three, who was married to Prince Andrew for most of the time Mrs. Thatcher was in office, has previously spoken candidly about her relationship with the former PM. She told how Mrs. Thatcher had always been part of her life, adding that she learned a great deal from the Baroness over the years. Speaking to her co-host Sarah Thompson on the latest Tea Talks with the Duchess and Sarah podcast, released on Thursday, the Duchess recounted meeting several famous faces from outstanding share to the late Queen and how she was always blown away by them. Fergie compares herself to Cinderella as she says UK stopped for her wedding, but when she met the former Conservative leader, her apprehension made her have a strange feeling in her throat, almost like a yawn. The best-selling novelist put it down to the fact that there was so much she wanted to say to the former MP for Finchley. She said, "Every time I went to meet Margaret Thatcher, I remember I kept trying to, I don't know what happened, it wasn't yawning, but there was a sense that I wanted to keep making a noise in my throat. Eventually, I had to apologize because it kept trembling, my throat kept trembling. I think my voice wanted to say so much but it couldn't get it out because I was so in awe of her. I wanted to talk to her all about how she managed to come from Grantham to be Prime Minister." So it's the same sort of feeling with all these characters. Fergie's mother Susan Barrantes, who died in a tragic accident in Argentina in 1998, grew up in the village of Belton, Links, where Mrs. Thatcher's parents came from. The Baroness was one of the 2,000 guests who watched Fergie walk down the aisle at Westminster Abbey in 1986. They then forged a friendship and would exchange birthday and Christmas cards as well as meeting once a year, even after Fergie divorced the Duke of York in 1996. Don't miss. Fergie believes the Queen is sending her messages from beyond the grave. Insight: Charles isn't kicking Andrew out of Royal Lodge to avoid looking vindictive. Latest: Fergie on poignant advice from Queen that she still recalls every morning. Report: when the former leader died in 2013, Fergie went to her funeral at St Paul's in London with friends, saying she had been invited because she was a friend of the Baroness, not because she was the former daughter-in-law of Queen Elizabeth. That year, The Telegraph reported that Fergie said, "Margaret Thatcher was such a strong lady, who has always been part of my life and whom I admired greatly. I was fortunate enough to get to know her from the time that she attended my wedding in 1986, and, subsequently, I shared numerous cups of tea with her, and loved to listen to her wisdom."
To